This hotel opened about 7.5 years ago. I came to the groundbreaking.
I came on to Hotel Solamar and J6 Restaurant about 5 years ago. I came down from San Francisco, particularly for this job. I moved my wife and 2 kids at the time. Now I have 3. One of the big reasons was because of the organic produce that's around, the beaches and the ocean and everything that we have that San Diego has to offer. That was a big selling point for me to move down here.
One of the things that brought me here was the cultural traits of it, and eco-friendly, and for Kimpton it's called Earth Care, is a sort of a dyed-in-the-wool program for them that says this is our footprint in the sand about how we operate hotels. And because I'm a San Diegan, I've had the opportunity to really say, okay, what's going to define Earth Care for the Solamar and make a better footprint? And the good thing so far is that it's been a good business model. We are successful, and we have customers that come to us because they value those same things.
There's more organic farms in San Diego per restaurant than anywhere in the country. It's a great benefit, especially for what we do. We're trying to focus on using all natural products, organic and 100% sustainable seafood. That's our big selling point for the restaurant, and then doing it in a good format.
With our hotel, as we continue to evolve, going into our 8th year next year, as a company, we want to figure out ways to excel at what we do. We want to do that in every area, from housekeeping standards to the sense of arrival, but certainly our Earth Care program is one of them. And a couple of years ago, as a company, we decided we would really make a bigger mark by creating something that's more uniform for our 50 hotels. And Green Seal certification was really what we chose. Not an easy task. It's a pretty big, involved process to get Green Seal certified. Hundreds of questions, a fairly involved process, and we were able to complete our Green Seal certification last year in September. Very excited to do that. At the time, we were one of only 23 hotels in California that got Green Seal certified. Since then, we never rest on our laurels, so we want to try to figure out what's next in the evolution.
Some of the green practices that we do all stem around the food, but the sustainable, organic and all natural, so that has to do with vegetables, produce, all of our fish, and then all of our meat. Everything we use across the board is taken care of in a correct way. We use Brant beef, which is a big cow farm just about 2 hours east of here, an hour and a half east of here, and then 100% sustainable seafood. That's important for me. I want my 3 boys to enjoy the same thing that I did with my father. And if we're not careful, they won't be here. So that's a big push for what we do.
As we look at the practices in the hotel, and it really starts with the staff, and they have to believe in what we do too. And I'll tell you, one of the things that we sort of jumped on the bandwagon on was how we clean the hotel. We use to clean our rooms, and it's this ionator, and it's basically a electronically charged system of cleaning the rooms. So basically, you can adjust the dial, and it shoots the water, and it's all done with water through this ionator. It's based on electrolysis, and it neutralizes any bacteria in the room, and it cleans every surface imaginable. So we use it now in our restaurant operation to all the guest rooms. We have virtually eliminated all aerosol products and all harsh chemicals throughout the entire hotel, and we use water. And this is it. So we don't have to stock product. We don't have to worry about MDA reports on chemicals. And when we went to this product, certainly we crossed our fingers and looked at our guest cleanliness scores for the next 2 months and said, do you think the guests are going to see any difference? And our scores went up. So we're one of the highest scores in our company for cleanliness of the room, because that's important to us, and this does work. So we got excited about it. It's one of those areas that we've sort of been the brainchilds of the company, and now it's rippling through our small company to say this is the right thing to do.
We want to do everything in-house. That limits packaging, how we get items into the restaurant, how we use items once they are in, and how much of the product we use. So we get a lot of whole animals in. We want to use as much of a whole animal ideal as possible. That allows us, there's only 1 fillet per beef, so once you run out of those 8 portions, there's a lot more cow left over. We have our own garden. That also helps not only give us fresh herbs and some fruits that we can use for the restaurant. It gives us great product. All those essential oils come out in the afternoon or in the morning. We're able to pick them, and they don't sit in a warehouse for 3 or 4 days. We have a composting program here, which eliminates about half of our trash as far as what we can bread bits and pieces and lettuce ends all go up to a pig and chicken farmer. He gives that and feeds that back to the animals that we end up receiving. So it's a great kind of relationship, as well as tying us to the community as well. That same relationship that we have with local farmers. It's really important that we have good relationships so that we can maybe help them, give them boxes back, or buy them boxes that will last a little bit longer than the cardboard containers that we get from Mexico or from Central Valley or somewhere else. We also make everything in-house, so we make our own breads and pastas like I mentioned. We also make our own salamis and cured meats. That allows us to use the whole hog in different ways.
When the U.S. Green Chamber came around, we just said, gosh, this is right up our alley, and how do we make sure that we are doing right by that chamber and representing them to all the things that we think they hold to be true.
And it's a benefit for all of us. I think at the end of the day, when we look 15 years down the line, we're going to hopefully assume that a lot of the practices that we have today are set up and common practice in 15 years. So that's the ideal, right? So hopefully, and I'm sure the Green Chamber agrees that hopefully there won't even be a Green Chamber. It'll just be the Chamber of Commerce, and that'll be the status quo of how we do business.
To see the growth of the Green Chamber, I think speaks volumes to what they're doing as an organization, and so it's the right thing to do. I think one of my favorite lines about being with Kimpton is, Earth Care, long before it was politically and socially correct, was what Kimpton did. It's what Bill Kimpton did. And I look at the Green Chamber, and they have this mission statement platform that it's not just about doing it because it's the right thing to do, say on Facebook. It's because it's the right thing to do. Those are the things we genuinely care about. Do we have mini bars in the room? Yep, but do we put some organic and sustainable products in there to make sure that we're not, being hypocritical about what we believe? Recycling cans in guest rooms here aren't just something we did for fun. That's something that started 30 years ago in this company with Kimpton. We are the company that defined things like, do you put the card on the bed for towels or sheets to have them sent out or not? Every hotel company does this, but we're that little company that started that, almost 30 years ago with our Earth Care program. So we kind of take it to some obsessive heights. Every year when there's Earth Day, in April, Kimpton has to have Earth Care Month because it's more than us than just a day of the week. And it's us celebrating the things we do internally, and then how do we take that out to our hotel guests and I don't want to say make them get involved, but allow them the opportunity to participate. And that's fun. It's a fun way to do business. If you have to stay in hotels for a business, or if you're going somewhere on pleasure, you should have fun in that hotel environment. You should be comfortable there. And part of our practices really start back of the house, and hopefully they spill out in the front of the house. And when I say hopefully, I think they do, because it's made us successful.